Hi, I'm Daniela and this is Jocelyn. Thanks for coming back to our channel.
Since our last few videos have been pretty emotionally heavy, we decided to take a lighter tone this video and talk more about ourselves aside from our fertility journey. That's why we decided to share with you a little bit more about our similarities and differences and how we function as a couple.
Jump right into it. Let's talk about our similarities first.
Okay, the most obvious similarity is that we're both the oldest in our family. Daniela is the oldest of 4 and I'm the oldest of 5. So I feel like there's definitely a type that comes with being the eldest.
Yeah, like oldest child syndrome, not like middle child syndrome, but
Yeah.
like you're always taking care of, mothering your siblings.
Yeah, I was going to say more bossy and more like taking responsibility.
You feel like you have a ton of responsibility, even if you may not necessarily. I think the simplest and most obvious similarity is that we both love Vans. We
The
have
shoe brand,
yeah,
not car.
There's not
Vans.
Vans like a minivans. No, we definitely don't love those.
No.
That could be a similarity too. But we both collectively together have a lot of pairs, and we're about the same size, except for my foot's a little bit more flat and Jocelyn's foot's a little bit more narrow and long. So we can share, but we oftentimes don't.
Yeah, because like when you're wearing someone else's shoe, you can feel like how they indent the shoe, and then it feels weird.
Yeah, it feels weird to her to feel my flat foot indent into the shoe.
Yeah. But we probably collectively have over 60 pairs of Vans throughout our time together, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is probably not something to brag about, but
we get them at the outlet. It's always like buy one get one free or something.
We always find a reason to get another pair is what she's saying.
Yeah, and then Bella has her pairs, but she doesn't like have enough pairs that she like keeps them. She like just wears them until they're destroyed and then has to get another.
Yeah, and she's like 2 or 3 sizes bigger than us, so we can't share with her.
No.
Nor would we want to. Yeah, she's really rough on her shoes, but I feel like a lot of kids are.
Yeah. It's the age. Still like playing in gym and stuff.
Yeah, so we go off the wall for Vans. Although we both have very different palates. One type of cuisine I think we can agree on is Indian food. We really both love it. Even though we like different things on the menu, I don't think if one of us suggests Indian food, the other one usually is always down for it.
Yeah, that's something we can always agree on.
Yeah.
Except for Bella. She doesn't like when we get Indian food.
She doesn't even like the smell of it. So that's tricky, but we tend to save that for when she's not with us.
Yeah, or we're just like, hold your nose, kid, we're going in.
Another similarity we have is we both really like haunted attractions or like being scared, like haunted hayrides or like going to haunted houses.
Spooky movies.
Yeah, that's something we enjoy together.
Bella enjoys that too.
Yeah, which is cool.
We all do that together. Even since she was like 7, she would be like, can we go to a haunted hayride? Let's go to Fright Fest. So
yeah, last year we went to Penhurst Asylum, which used to be a functioning asylum that's now turned into a haunted house. So it's haunted on all levels, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And she even like bought a book about the history of the asylum after we were done being scared.
On that note, we both believe in the paranormal.
Yes.
I think I'm a little bit more like interested in it, and like Jocelyn's a little bit more like has a healthy fear of it.
Yeah, I feel like if you meddle too much into it, you're gonna get something you might not necessarily ask for. So I like to believe in the paranormal from a healthy distance and not like mess too much with it, because you never know what's gonna attract itself to you.
Yeah, and in our experiences, I think your dad and Isabella both have a tendency to attract some paranormal spirits towards
Yeah, we
them.
definitely have experienced some paranormal things in our life.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard not to believe it, I guess.
So we hold on to the sage and the Palo Santo in our house.
Yeah. Another similarity that we have is that we love to travel. And going back to another coincidence we had is that we both traveled to Italy separately within like the same summer before we knew each other.
Yeah. We were both like young teenagers. I went with my grandpa and Jocelyn went on like a school art trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
My freshman year of high school.
Yeah, so we were there around the same time, and then when we met and started talking to each other, I was like, oh my God, I was there that year, and she was like, I was there that year too. You know, our paths have crossed so many times, and we didn't know, and we didn't meet each other until we did.
Yeah.
As well as the love for travel, we have a very deep love of the sea. We love the ocean, the water, the bay, whatever. Although we don't prefer the bay, we still like kayak in it.
Give me any type of beach and I am there.
Exactly. So we are definitely our best selves when we're in the salty air and the salty water.
Yeah, for a very long time we lived very close to the water, so it was really nice to be able to go on walks every day to see the water and just kind of feel more like ourselves. I feel my best self when I'm there.
Yeah, and being like a native to a beach town, you know, we would stay at the beach like really late at night, like sometimes go like from like 2 or 3 until like 5 or 6, and when everyone goes home and you're like the last ones in the ocean. I feel like by the end of the day the ocean is like so nice, and you're like sitting in a sandbar and nobody's around you, and it just kind of so like
peaceful, serene.
Yeah, those are the words I was looking for.
So those are our similarities and what has drawn us to each other.
But we do have a lot of differences, which make our relationship a little quirky and fun, I think.
Yeah, the differences are definitely more fun.
Yeah, for example, like I'm a night owl. I would prefer to stay up later at night or like sleep a little longer during the day.
And my best ideas come like the first 2 hours of waking up. So when I wake up, I'm like ready to go. I want to do like all the most important things right away so I could just like coast throughout the rest of the day. Where Daniela, it takes her like a while to get up and get moving, and
I need to
get ready.
Wake up, get myself adjusted to the day. If she's coming at me with all of her great ideas first thing in the morning, I'm like, whoa, buddy, you need to relax. Like, you are overwhelming me, and then I get cranky.
I think that's probably our most challenging difference for me.
I think that honestly it's been like better.
We've been evening out.
I would say another difference between us is that you would classify me as more high maintenance, although I don't think I'm high maintenance because like there are way many more high maintenance people than me out there.
It doesn't mean you're not high maintenance. It just means there's people higher maintenance than you.
Yeah, which I'm not. But I just am more into like, you know, taking care of my skin and beauty routines a little bit than Jocelyn is. Which is good because I like rub off on her. Like I'll buy all these good moisturizers or something. Like, okay, just put this one on. And
yeah, I definitely will take advantage. If you want to rub lotion on my face, be my guest. But I'm not going to sit here with 11 different steps before I go to bed. Like, that's not going to happen.
There's like 3, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a big difference between us, but we can respect each other's differences.
She's like more feminine than me in that regard.
Yeah, that's a good way to call it.
So another difference that we have is that I have a very distinguished palate and I prefer more gourmet meals, where Daniela can eat whatever.
I'd say Jocelyn is a little bit more of a picky eater, and not in the sense that she doesn't like eat many things, because she does eat a variety of things. They just have to be prepared exactly the way she wants them.
Yes, that's what a distinguished palate means. That I want also, things that are cooked well.
Yes,
deliciously.
Or I can like cook a meal which is good. It doesn't mean it's not good, and like eat it a couple times. Like I can do meal prep and like live with that. She would not eat the same meal like a couple days in a row.
I need variety. Hit that like button if you can relate. I don't want to be like eating the same food every single day for days on end. Like the most I have ever done was eat a salad for lunch 4 weeks in a row. And that was it. That's the most I can do.
Yeah, and like I definitely will eat a lot more vegetables and fruit in my diet that you would prefer not to have.
Yeah, that's true. But again, if it was prepared by a gourmet chef in a very delicious way, I would definitely prefer it more.
Like hide that it's a vegetable.
No, just prepare it in a way that tastes better than just eating a raw vegetable.
Well, I don't just eat
or
raw
put
vegetables.
balsamic on it. I think it comes down to the way we view food. So like Daniela views food as substance, as something to nourish your body, and I view food as something that needs to satisfy a craving or taste good, so I feel like fulfilled and satisfied. And if I don't get that from a meal, then I'm like really upset about it. And I feel like I could eat something else, like if I don't like what I'm eating. I don't want it. Yeah. The only thing I could eat every day without fail is Chipotle.
For sure.
That's one thing that I may be borderline addicted to.
Yeah. I'll agree. Some days
that.
I'll be like, what do you want to eat? Chipotle. I'm like, I can't. No more Chipotle. But
yeah. When we were in college, we got a Chipotle in biking distance from our school campus. So I would probably about 2 times a week, like my senior year, I'd say if I can bike the 2 miles to get the Chipotle, I've earned it and I can eat it. So I think that's where it all started. Hey, you're a picky eater now I think about it in your own way. You don't like milk, you don't like eggs, you don't like
But I
seafood.
eat eggs. I just eat them in a way that is not like a
edible.
mushy texture. Like I mix it with vegetables or
burn it to a crisp.
Make it a little crispy.
Little, it's like brown, black. Eggs are yellow. Your eggs are always like brown or black.
They're never black. They're usually orange because I smother them in cheese. Another difference between us is I have more of like an extroverted personality, where Jocelyn has more of an introverted personality.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that.
I get recharged and energized, and I enjoy being out and about with groups of people.
I feel like there's definitely certain personality types that will drain me. Large groups of people where I feel like I have to be on and entertaining and like social all the time, that drains me a lot. I want to be around like a small, close-knit group of people who I can vibe with.
Yeah. Give us a like if you and your partner can relate.
So how does that affect our marriage and our relationship? I feel like in the beginning it was easier to mask our introvert extrovert differences because we were in college, we were around our friends all the time, so we were like going out with the same groups of people, so it never felt like I was being drained because we had like a good group of friends and it was always like fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like once we moved in together after college,
I think we eased into it because we didn't have a lot of friends in the area. Like I had friends because that's where I grew up, but like we were like establishing relationships with people as a couple now. Yeah. And then we like eased into it and we found like a niche group of friends that we would go out with, and we wouldn't go out all the time because we had to work and take care of Bella. Yeah. And so we would just like do it once in a while, which worked.
And then there was like rare occasions where you'd go out without me, but mainly that was because I was working.
Yeah.
But you had that need being met then.
Exactly. Or like have a friend come over to the house while Jocelyn's at work and hang out with me and Bella, like
recharge that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I'm always cold, like at all times, except for in like the outside in the summer heat. But like I'm a cold sleeper. Like I have like socks, an extra blanket, sweatpants, where Jocelyn will be sleeping in like shorts and like get all your blankets off of me.
Yeah, I feel like I run hot, so I'm always hot and I want to be cool. I like the AC blaring. I want to like have a very thin comforter when I'm sleeping. I cannot sleep at all when I'm hot. Like she'll be sleeping and profusely sweating and I'm like, how is she sleeping right now? I'm up.
I don't think that I'm sweating. I think it's you sweating on me.
No, I can't even touch your body when I'm hot because it's too like
well, sweating. I'll have like a big comforter and like
she'll have 14 blankets and be sweating underneath. Like I could just see her hair curling on the sides of her forehead.
I'm not sweating.
She's sweating and just sleeping so peacefully, and I'm like, oh my god, I'd be dying. Another difference, Daniela says she loves peanut butter, and I don't like peanut butter like that.
Literally anything, if I put peanut butter on anything, I'm like, oh, you want to bite? No, I don't like peanut butter like that.
I have to be in the mood for peanut butter. Like, I don't mind peanut butter at all. I think as an American, we all love peanut butter, right? But I don't need it on everything. I don't need to eat it every day. I don't need to like put it in my oatmeal and put it in my smoothies and put it with anything that has banana. Like I don't need that. to feel fulfilled.
I think that if you're allergic to peanut butter, you probably shouldn't come to my house because it's like been on every spoon and knife and bowl, and then like the sponge, like you probably are just gonna pass away.
I can honestly say I've never seen someone go through peanut butter as quickly as you do.
Okay, it's not that serious. We've had a jar for a while. I don't put it on everything. I just enjoy it, and it's a healthy fat.
That's fine. Hey, I'm not complaining. We all have our likes and dislikes. I just don't like peanut butter like that.
That's the phrase. You don't like peanut butter like that.
Because I don't want to say I don't like peanut butter. Period.
Just doesn't like it like that.
That's just
specifically
a whole other level.
Something that I love that you don't like are like crime shows, crime documentaries, like murder mysteries. I'm all about like Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, I don't need to see other people suffering. I don't need to learn about their awful misfortune. Like, my life is shitty enough. I don't need to be pulled down by other people's unsolved mysteries. If you want to give me a documentary that's like 2 hours, has a very cut, clean ending, like The Jinx on HBO, that was great. I loved that. But I'm not going to sit here for 27 episodes to learn that the killer's still out there somewhere. Why would I do that to myself?
In Law and Order SVU, they almost wrap up every case. There's some that like are 2 episodes, but you just don't like the crime and like the scariness of it. It's not scary, but it's like
it's just the worst parts of the world. I don't know.
I just like
I want to live in the
like
light,
solving cases and like saving lives. But
yeah, I mean, I could see the whole like saving lives part is like cool. I just don't like when we're like watching other people suffer and learning about rapes and killings, and no thank you.
Understood. I also really like birds, and
I really don't.
Really does not. They freak her out a little bit, which is common. A lot of people like don't like pet birds. She doesn't like their screaming.
Even this morning, it was 5 a.m. The sun was not out. We slept with the window cracked open, and those birds woke me up. They were like fighting in a tree. I don't know what they were doing.
It's newly spring. They're
the
probably like breeding
lungs.
and like finding worms, and
it was so loud I had to turn the TV back on just to fall asleep to drown them out. And they're unpredictable. They like swoop and like they come get you with no reason to. Like, I'm just minding my own business, and the blue jay just come at me for no reason.
Well,
like,
blue jays and cardinals are notoriously like not the nicest birds, but I'm not saying I like wild birds. I like more tropical
I'm not
birds.
like afraid to send. We could sit on the beach and there could be like a whole
slew of birds and we're just like ignoring them. But where I want to have like a giant parrot in our house, Jocelyn
no,
does
thank
not.
you. I would prefer not to do that.
One day we'll have a cockatoo, but one day.
Once our babies are grown up, and I don't know. We'll see.
I know that if we get it from a little baby, cockatoos are really like lovey-dovey. You'll learn to love it.
I know, I've just seen too many videos where it's like, oh, it's so cute, it's sitting on your shoulder. Now it's like pecking at your face.
Yeah, not when it's your bird. They become attached to you. It's not a non-negotiable for me because parrots are so messy, and like I'm not trying to clean up all that mess of seeds all over.
I'm not trying to be woken up every morning.
They're not alarm clocks. It's not a rooster.
They don't chirp. They peck each other. They poop all over without any kind of organization in that matter. Like, you can't train them to poop in one spot. It's just a mess.
Yeah, so we likely won't get a bird, but that's okay. That's not a non-negotiable.
If you want to visit birds, we could go to the zoo. We could
we did go to Discovery Cove when all those birds would come.
And what happened to that lady?
So we went to Discovery Cove, and you can like hold bowls of fruit, and like all these birds come fly on you and eat. So like a toucan landed on my arm and was like eating off me. Then this lady was like, there was like a pelican or like a crane or something like sitting right there, and she kept going to it, like. Which, you know, don't reach towards a big bird. Nobody wants to be, like, having their faces reached toward. And that bird just, it's on video. You know, the lady just gets pecked. It was really funny.
Yeah, we're at Discovery Cove. I'd much rather swim with the stingrays and, like, go look over at the shark tank. And I don't need to be anywhere near the birds.
Yeah. And like people outside of veterinary medicine may not understand this, but in the ER, you know, like there's like blood and guts, like could be in surgery in the OR, and like I wouldn't do this because it's against OSHA regulations, but I could just like eat a sandwich while watching surgery. Like, it's all good. Like, nothing is really grossing me out at this point. The only thing that would gross me out is like maggots in a wound. But other than that, I'm pretty solid. Where Jocelyn would be more queasy and grossed out.
Yeah, I can distinctly remember early in our relationship, I was like looking at the photos in your camera roll, and then I'm like, there's like a picture of an organ, and you're like, oh my god, look at that spleen, it's so purple, and I'm like, there comes my sandwich. No thank you.
Yeah, or I could be like, come home with blood on my scrubs, and she's like, oh, what happened to you today?
one time you came home with like a speck of blood. I'm like, you got blood right there, and you're like, oh, that's nothing, it was all over everywhere. And I was like, can you just go change really quick?
Yeah, laceration wounds, things like that. It happens. It's in the
and I'm like very thankful for you guys, because someone's got to do it, so I'm just happy it is not me. One thing I don't like that you do, because it makes me vomit, is going on roller coasters.
Yeah,
you love roller coasters and I hate them.
Yeah, and Bella low-key loves them too, but she thinks she doesn't like them because you don't like them. So every time I force her onto one, she gets off and really likes it. But I have to like convince her that it's going to be okay first, because she's like,
which is kind of weird, because I've never deterred her from going on anything.
No, but I think
ever.
She just like notices that you're like, no thank you, and is like, she doesn't like it, like I shouldn't like
Mom's
it too.
Yeah, I just think that amusement parks are supposed to be amusing, and I do not find any kind of amusement from being shaken up where I feel like I'm gonna puke.
I love roller coasters. I'll be thrown all around.
They did actually get me. We went to Universal a couple years back when the new Hagrid ride just came out. And for those who aren't familiar, it's a ride where you're sitting on like his motorbike with the sidecar. So it looks really cool. I watched like the video for it. I walked through the whole queue line and got to see all like the behind the scenes. And I'm like, I just don't know if I want to do this. Like, it goes backwards and does all this stuff and has
We convinced her.
Yeah, they convinced me, and boy, was that a mistake. I don't know.
It was fun, and I thought it was like one of the best roller coasters I've been on. It was like a story, and it felt really like it had a lot of butterflies and feeling good. I really loved it. Me and Bella loved it so much we convinced Joss to go on it, just for the experience at least.
Yeah, so I did it. It's not like I'm like deathly afraid. Where you like roller coasters, I don't like roller coasters, and I'm not afraid of heights or like ropes courses. Oh, sign me up. Like, I want to do obstacles in the air. Lots of fun. Daniela, not so much.
No. Like, we have done zip lining, which is fine because like you climb to the top and then you don't have to like steady yourself and like walk across a plank or whatever. Like, you just jump and fly. Although it makes me nervous, it's quick enough and it's like a roller coaster and you're done. Where if we had to like walk across a rope bridge or like do an obstacle course, like a high ropes course, like and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. We have done them. We've done like a mini version, so that was...
Yeah, it was a trooper.
Yeah, I think we both try to go a little bit outside of our comfort zones for each other.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like the fact that I have to do it myself. Like, I'm scared and I freeze.
But doesn't that feel like liberating to you? You're hooked up to...
because I feel
like
so
if
like
you
a
fall,
fat
you're not
turtle,
going
like
anywhere.
I'm gonna just be like stuck and in the way, and people are gonna have to help me. And I'm just like, it's not my cup of tea. Jocelyn loves Jeopardy, and I do not.
I like
Jeopardy.
Pretty much any kind of game show. I'm into game shows. I like Family Feud is good.
Well, Family Feud's
Jeopardy.
funny because like people be crazy on that show. But
You're not a game show girl.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say I'm like into game shows that much. I definitely don't like Jeopardy because...
Oh, I love trivia. Daniela does not.
Just remind me of how stupid I am. Like,
no, I feel like sometimes it just depends on like the category.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, people who are good at Jeopardy amaze me. Like, you're so
I know.
smart and such a large variety of information.
The more you watch it, the better you get. So.
But it's so boring. Like,
really? I find it entertaining.
Oh my god. And she'll be like, shh, I can't hear the question. And I'm like just trying to talk about my day or something. Like,
it's a 30-minute show. You can tell me all about your day before or after.
She gets so mad. Me and Bella just like whisper to each other.
Like, and there's not 1,000,001 commercials. You can talk about whatever you want during those commercial breaks.
Well, I think of it during the questions, okay? There are times when I feel like our differences really complement one another, though.
Yeah, we have a lot of differences, as you can see. I'm sure there are a bunch that we're not even thinking about right now, but
But it's important to have like different dynamics in a couple, because when we come together, it fits together like the yin and the yang.
Yeah, it's perfect. Especially at birthday parties when there's ice cream cake, because I like the chocolate and you like the vanilla and we share the crunchies.
Yeah. So we just have one piece of cake, or we each have our own piece of cake, and I'll
That's
just
best.
give her my chocolate chunk and she gives me her vanilla chunk, and then we're both happy, because I used to my whole life just throw away the chocolate.
I'd eat the vanilla anyway. I'd just mix it so it tastes more like chocolate.
But chocolate's very overpowering.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work like that. Then it wastes my vanilla.
Comment below with some of the similarities and differences you and your partner share.
What other ways are we like complimenting each other? I feel like our outfits are always the opposite. Okay, like even right now, I'm wearing black pants and a gray shirt, and she's wearing black shirt and gray pants.
And we did not even plan that.
No, it's
or
funny.
Look at, yeah, like people will say like, you guys planned that, you're lesbians, you share the same closet, but half the time, like I said, like I'm more of a morning person, she's more of a night person, so like we get
I
ready
stay out
separately.
of the room when she's getting ready.
I prefer it that way because I'm probably my biggest critic, and I don't want anyone looking at me until I'm ready to be looked at.
Exactly. So I just like get all the things I need to get out of the bedroom, and
then we'll like be in the car and like look at each other like, how do we do that?
Yep.
That's
just
so
about
funny.
all the time. We didn't even plan that. I noticed it until just now.
We didn't even notice it until just now. So I think even though we have a lot more differences than similarities, it really works for us. And we have different perspectives on things, which I think help look at things in different ways.
It makes me really grateful, because there are sometimes things that you, like we'll be talking about something and then I'll have like a stance on it and you tell me your opinion. I'm like, wow, I really didn't think of it that way.
Same with you.
And I think I do that to you, as well, where we view the world differently, but then it helps us like have a broader view.
Yeah.
I think that our differences really just help make our relationship stronger.
And I think our differences also help me be a better individual. Like certain things that really used to bother me about our differences, it's like I'm more accepting of them.
There were things that we were like, oh, we're too different, but actually in the long run they work.
Yeah, they do work.
All in all, we have many more differences than we do similarities, but I do think that our differences is what makes us like a diverse and unique and strong couple.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think our similarities like bring us back to each other when we're in a moment where we're having difficulty like coming to terms. We remember like what brought us to where we were. We have those similar morals where we are like committed to each other and loyal, and like can reframe ourselves to get back to like the big picture when we need to.
Yeah, and on your hard days I feel like I'm stronger, and on my hard days I feel like you're stronger, coincidentally.
Yeah, works well.
Yeah. So I think we've had a long and intense journey, and we're going to keep pushing forward. If you want to learn more about our most recent step in our fertility journey, you can click back to our last video. I'll put the link above, where we talk about endometriosis and fertility. Right now we're still waiting for our consultation for endometriosis, as well as a consultation with just another fertility specialist for a second opinion, while we're still getting acupuncture and doing all these things to help grow healthy eggs. See you soon.